Hello, my little munchkins, crones, and sunflowers. I hope your day is copacetic, or at least I hope it was. So anyway, we're going to get back into it. We're going to talk about what is it, The Valley, which I
Yes.
really enjoy this show too. I really, really
This was a
do.
good episode.
Go ahead, tell me about it.
Okay. So for this Valley episode,
How do you read that small right?
Okay. For the Valley episode, we started off with, you remember, Jax had told Michelle about what Christian is saying about Michelle. And Michelle did not deny it. She's just like, yes, I am texting other guys, but that's for my business.
No, she didn't tell him. She ain't tell him that she's sending them pictures of herself and sexy stuff. She ain't tell her that.
No. And so after that, she was just like, I'm going to go talk to Jesse. So she brings it up to Jesse, right? And okay, so first off, Michelle actually thought that Michelle's playing the denial game so good at this point that I'm a little confused if how much she told Christian, because she was like, I didn't tell Christian I was sending sexy pictures of myself. I was telling her I was texting other guys. So I'm feeling like she's adding on that extra layer to make me look.
I believe Christian on this one.
I believe Christian. Because how are you going to half deny the truth?
Why would Christian lie about that?
Okay.
Because Christian said, I'm protecting you. So why would Christian lie? And I knew the whole time that she knew. I don't understand. If it was not like that, she could have came clean and said, Christian, you got it mixed up. She could have said it in front of everybody. And her husband and her knew and talked about this. Yes. So I kind of think that it's something that she told Christian that now it's that cool. I'll just go and tell my husband. But I like the way Jack said, what about the other part about the clothing? And she says, well, that's not true. Well, if it wasn't true, why didn't you check that last week? When this all came out a couple of weeks ago, you didn't check it while she was there. Why? Because maybe you were sending risque pictures.
Yes.
And it was, and you knew that would really set your husband's teeth on edge, because he's really trying. And you played it so cool and so coy about it. I don't know. I truly believe that Christian has something, and I'm gonna stick with with Jax on that. Jax don't know, but I'm gonna stick with Jax on that.
So when Michelle goes to tell Jesse was like, I don't want to hear the hearsay she says.
From a third party, kind of just call him said.
Yep. So he was like, bring on Jesse. He was like, bring on Jax. So he calls Jax. Jax sits down because Jax is like, oh God, because he's getting wrapped up in this now.
Jax asked her, do you want me to tell him? She said, no, I'll do it. So he's going upstairs. They know what it's all about. So now he's like, oh man, I thought she said she gonna handle it. And now I got to go up here in this. And I didn't tell it. I could have did it my way better, but you want to handle it. That's how I took it.
Yeah.
You like that?
That's how I took it. Yes. And so, yes, she definitely admitted it in front of Jax and her husband.
Some of it.
Yes. She admits that. And first off, if it's not true, why is it when Jesse asked, who's this man you're sending risque pictures to? And she's just like, yes, it is a celebrity. So you're sending risque pictures. You just admitted to who it was without saying his name. Anyway. And she was just... And anyway, she was quickly to shut it down by saying whatever she could to basically say that it's not like that. I am doing real estate and I have to be constantly texting these guys. So
I bought many houses and I have never had one male or female send me sexy pictures to try to buy my house.
Take me off to coffee dates. Like, anyway.
Her husband loves her.
Yes. So
he don't want to know.
No. So shortly after that, he decides to walk out the room and head downstairs where the rest of the guys are. And out of nowhere, this is the way baby Crone took it. As a way to deflect and not deal with his wife, he goes downstairs, gives Danny a hug, and he's like, I'm sorry, man. he's like, I'm just going through a lot or something like that.
Well, I appreciate it because he did, how else to do it? They didn't have a bad thing upstairs.
Mm-mm.
He's just shut. It didn't matter to him
Yeah.
because he knows his marriage is over.
Mm-hmm.
He's just waiting for his wife to do it. He know it's over. And maybe they agreed this is our last show together. We're going to finish this out, but when we're done, because even though he says, let's sleep together, she says, no, it's gone.
Yeah.
She doesn't want him.
Yeah, and you even saw the jumping ahead a little.
I'm sorry.
Oh.
But I feel as though he loves her. And I think that when she lets him go, she's going to regret it. At least I think. They may not show it. We may never see it. But it just seems like she doesn't even have a good ground to not even want him.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
Mm-hmm. And the way, as we saw towards the very end of the episode, when Jesse was trying to give some counseling to Jax, it was somewhat counseling, but not. He was pretty much coming from the point of, hey, notice the red flags in your relationship and make the changes before it's too late. Because
remember, Jax sat there and said, it's two couples on the rocks.
Mm-hmm.
And they said that when they was on the boat, two couples. But speaking of them, let me get to Brittany. Go ahead.
Yes, because that is another one we have to talk about. So Brittany, Jax finally asked the
girls.
The girls. Did Christian have anything to drink? And
not Christian.
Christian's not even there. If Brittany had anything to drink, and I thought Jasmine ratted out Brittany, but even Jasmine was just like, no, she had zero to drink. So
I thought she had 2 drinks.
She did, but the ladies took Brittany's back and said, nope, she didn't drink at all. She didn't drink anything.
She had 2 drinks.
Yeah.
And he said she can't handle it. Every time she drinks, we seen it. She took 1 drink. It's like whenever she drinks, she gets sick.
Yes.
It's like it's grossing him out. He can't handle it. He doesn't want it. He doesn't understand why she drinks. He even told her, try something else.
Yes.
Do cannabis. It's so many other things. You don't have to do this. But she continually drinks and continually vomits.
Mm-hmm.
And he doesn't find it attractive.
No.
My question is with you. Every time you go out, we know that you're sick the next day because you had 1 too many drinks.
Yes.
It makes you feel good, but you suffer.
Yes.
And he says, and apparently she makes a mess. Like maybe she doesn't make it to the bathroom all the time. And that's how he made it to be.
Yeah.
Like I'm used to it. Mm-hmm. He said 9 years and I'm sick of it.
Yes.
I can't blame him for that. So is she an alcoholic? No, but she's a problem drinker. And you may say how? Because it's making her sick. So if it's making her sick and she continually do it, that's a problem.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And I like what the pregnant girl said. Because she know the truth.
Yeah.
She said, I agree with Jax and I agree with Brittany. She shouldn't have never came out there and cussed him out like that.
Yes. But, Brittany is just...
That was emasculating.
Yes.
And she did, no, it was a better way to handle that.
Yes, for real. Because
everybody felt... you?
Yes. Because you're making me look like a bad wife and you're not standing up for me and you're just accusing me of being drunk.
It's not even the drunk that he have a problem with. It's the throwing up. Mm-hmm. Like he said, if you drank and you can handle it like me, it wouldn't be a problem. But you can't. Because she's like, you drink. He's like, it's the fact you can't handle it.
Yes.
Every time you drink, it's like you sick for the next day.
Yes.
Making a mess. You're just sick, and he's sick of it. He even said, you even left puke in the bag in the driveway. He's sick of it.
Yes.
I would be.
Mm-hmm. He even said, and I quote, a few episodes back, he said, if you want more kids, act like a mother. And this was shortly after she had vomited and left a bag in the driveway. And he was just like, well, if you want me to make more babies with you, then maybe conduct yourself like a mother that knows how to handle her body. And Brittany's just like, well, we're going through a hard time right now, and that's what's making me drink a little bit more. So if my body can't handle it, my body's being unfair.
But she said that her body can't handle it.
Yes, she knows that.
She even got sick in the car. But she had 2 drinks.
Yes.
That's the thing. And he says, I know she drank. He says, I know it. Even though somebody told her she had 2 drinks.
She told her because she was mad. She was upset that he was questioning the ladies, and then she finally came out. She was like, I only had 2 drinks.
And he said, I knew it. I knew it, because the only time she gets sick is when she drinks. But she's got a problem. He says, maybe I'm the cause of her drinking. She won't stop drinking. And since she won't stop drinking, she won't stop throwing up.
Yeah.
And he can't deal with it. He just finds her gross. And so would I. I'm sorry.
Yes. But they did have a talk the next day. And they...
Are they back together?
Let's see.
Are they back together? Because I don't think he wanna.
No, he literally said that their marriage is on the rocks.
Yeah, but he said he also said he don't believe in divorces. And Brittany and I are gonna be together.
They still are separated.
Are they seeing each other separated?
I'm not sure. It says at the moment, Jax and Brittany are still separated. In February, Brittany announced in an episode of her podcast that they would be taking some time apart for the sake of their relationship and her mental health.
Bye. You knew what this man was like. And if I was him, I don't want to be with somebody. I mean, if you sick, like that's what I think. But she's doing it. This is issue. If she was sick, fine. But she's bringing this on herself. I agree.
Yes.
It would be no way. Every time I drink, I got sick, I'm done. She throw up in front of her friends.
Yes.
They used to it.
Yes. Yikes.
They used to it.
It's not a good thing.
But they don't want to accept the fact that Brittany could have a drinking problem. Yeah. So you'll cover. And I gotta say, I can't stand that black girl. What's her name?
Jasmine.
I can't stand her, and I'm gonna tell you why. The role she playing. She plays like she's the wise one.
Yes.
But her relationship is not on the chopping block. She's in with all these relationships, but she doesn't have a relationship.
And judging them.
And she hangs around. When I was coming up, no offense, but they were called fag hags. They just hang around gay people. They just love hanging around gay men, and I don't have nothing to do. This ain't got nothing to do with gay people. I'm just saying they used to call women like her fag hags when I was coming up, and I think that's a bad name, but that's what they call her, not the men. That she loved being around, gay men, and I don't understand. She gives all this unsolicited advice.
Yes.
And she don't even know what she's talking about. Sometimes she just lack relationship etiquette, or she just lacks.
Sometimes I wonder if that's just due to the dynamics of dating a female. She can only relate to and understand female.
But she I just don't. I ain't feeling her at all.
Yeah.
But that's one of Christian's friends. And she remembers she's gay, and she hangs around gay guys. See, I can't.
Yeah.
I can't with her because she's in everybody's business.
Yes, she is.
She's a misfit. And I like the girl, shut her up on the boat. You just think you know everything. She's one of them girls that just think she know everything.
She does. She thinks she's got it all together.
And then when that's why I want no children. That's why you here. Get out. Nobody wants you. Bye. Yeah. Sorry, that's how I feel about her.
Yeah, for real. You're judging everybody's
Judgy.
relationship, but we don't see your relationship.
But we don't see yours. All we see you hang around is your gay friend.
Right. We saw her like maybe once or twice on this episode.
With a girl. That she got to say, this is what I'm about.
Yes. Just gives a little bit
and
of
the advice she gives, and I'm with the married woman, like her advice is not good.
Is. But speaking of Christian's friends, you remember how Christian wasn't invited to this Big Bear Lake event? Well, Christian is hanging out with Zach. And her and Zach are deciding to be little meanies together. Go figure. Because Zach wanted to be a little bit petty and mess with Janet the night before he saw Christian post a location saying that he was in Big Bear Lake to get everybody stressed. And now Janet hasn't slept and she's cranky. And Zach is like, well, if they took it serious, that's on them. It was a joke. They should know me.
Well, how? Didn't he say he was coming down?
No. He did tell them on the phone that he was thinking about coming down.
And that scared the pregnant woman. She was like, oh, Lord.
Right,
and then the other one said, I'm leaving. Right.
Yeah. It was Michelle that said she would leave if Christian showed up with Zach. Because they're like, if Zach is going to come along, he's going to bring Christian. And they're all terrified to see Christian.
Not terrified. They just don't want her around. She's bad mojo.
Yeah, for real.
I agree. What else?
Definitely. So that was pretty much it for Christian, you know, that they still got to get Christian on.
That's what I'm saying. When the shows are split like that, it don't work.
Right. Actually, this is the first time we saw Christian hanging out with somebody that wasn't her boyfriend, Luke. I don't know.
Where's Luke?
I don't know where Luke was this episode.
Oh, Luke.
Last episode, they had their little therapy session. This episode, she hanging out with Zach and having a spa day. I guess Luke was at work or something. I don't know. But moving on, Janet, right. You remember how I said Janet was stressed out? So because of this, it was a cooking, it was like a little cooking event that they were having at the house. And the guys were supposed to be grilling and I just doing the little cookout, you know, do the man thing, go cook on the grill. And
no, the ladies were cooking, but the men were out there having a conversation.
Yes, they were. And Janet decided to go talk to her husband, Jason, because she was just like, she's like, could you guys like put some stuff on the grill? Could you help cook? You guys are just like kind of like sitting around talking. We need help here.
Well, she didn't say that to them.
No.
All they said is, this is a man thing. Go back in the house.
Yeah.
And she got very hysterical.
Yes, because it was so left field. It was actually Jesse that said it. It was like as soon as Janet came out, he like popped off and was like, go back inside, basically. That's how it felt. And Janet was just like, whoa, I'm pregnant here. I'm cooking. I'm tired. I need sleep. And I want to cry too. So y'all go have your little...
You mean to tell me she couldn't fix a salad? She couldn't have some bread and butter? She couldn't, no, seriously.
You're right.
You know, they got hot dogs. She couldn't have hot dog with little cheese. She could make herself a grilled cheese sandwich. If you eat that, not a salad. They didn't have no tomato. Couldn't cut no tomato. What?
Yeah, you're right. She could have done a little something.
It was a lot. She's a cook.
Yeah.
The cook get to do whatever they want.
Right. You could have literally been tasting and nibbling as you're cooking.
You could have just made a sandwich, a cheese sandwich. If you was hungry like that. I mean, don't cooks have the advantage?
Yes, they do.
The cooks can eat whatever they want. They the cooks. They in the kitchen.
Yes. But it must be those pregnancy hormones that has her up and because she's stressed out about Jason, about if Zach's gonna pop up. So it's just like a whole lot that she's going through.
And the cook can eat just the sack. I have to taste the food.
Yes.
So I just don't get it. I don't know a cook or a chef that's hungry. They hungry because they want to be.
Yeah. So
if you worked at McDonald's or something like that, you might be hungry. Yeah. But if you're a cook at that food, no, you can eat them French fries. Yeah. You could eat, you could have just a bad burger. You could do it if you're a cook. But see, a cook you can eat.
Mm-hmm. So with that, I as weird as it might sound to say, it was kind of refreshing to see Janet and Jason have a little tit for tat or like a lover's quarrel, because they seem to have like the perfect relationship.
The one with the two little children, the 3 kids.
No, this is the one that is expecting to have their first child. And both Janet and Jason are starting to get a little nervous because
they see all their friends falling apart. And see, that's real though.
Mm-hmm.
And the way that Janet is,
yeah,
she's she gonna be something when she get that baby out of her. I could see it.
Yeah,
because she loved drama.
She does.
And she had those gay friends that call her up and she get to listen to the conversation. Janet's a mess too. Yeah. And so her husband can think what he wants, but Janet's got some mess with her too. Mm-hmm. But I like her.
Yes, I do like her for that. Yeah, so this is why Jason got caught up talking to the guys, because the men were talking about how their relationships, they were pretty much saying, once you have a child, your relationship in marriage is not going to be the same.
It isn't. It's going to change.
Yes, it's going to change. So be
Has to.
prepared for that.
It will change.
Yeah.
And it'll be difficult because you got a baby between you, and time, energy, especially the first year is the worst.
Yeah, and
It's
so
adjusting, especially if you have this your first.
And the couple that has the 3 children, Danny and Mia, Danny was really getting emotional because this is his first time opening up and really talking to the guys about how he's like stressed. He's like, man, I'm like having sleepless nights now that I have 2 newborns. He was like, I don't want to like sound like I'm complaining, but I'm getting
do you change diapers? His wife probably says, "Get up." It's like, I got to go to work and he got to get up with her. I could imagine.
And he wants to say, Danny wants to, this is the guy that had got pants in the very first of the episode. Danny wants to say in Santa Clara. And
right. And
Mia doesn't want to because she's like, she's like, I feel isolated. None of our friends are really here. And I'm going through this postpartum and you're really not listening to me about how I don't want to live here, but I love you. So I don't want to like push you.
Because it's a big place for the money, right? You got 3 backyards or something they were saying.
Yeah.
And it just looks beautiful. And she just doesn't want it. She wants to stay close to her friends. But he wants to get out of the valley. I can understand both of them.
Yeah.
You know,
so that's
she will make new friends wherever she goes. She'll make new friends because she's a part of the Mommy and Me club.
Yeah. But with that, that's another stress and strain on their relationship that Danny and Mia are having. Yep, so that was really pretty much it because the rest of the episode was the guys really opening up about their marriages and how Jesse and Michelle, I don't know who Maya is, Jesse and Michelle are going through their problems, and
Jax and
Brittany are going through their problems, and Jesse's just feeling like, hey, don't make the same mistake I've made because it kind of seems like Jesse's in this regret of, I made a move a little too late and now my relationship is over.
Yeah.
Maybe he wasn't as attentive in realizing the red flags and Michelle like kind of moved on. He was just like, man, if I was there, if I was present.
But Jax don't need that. Jax done. He don't want Brittany. He don't want her. He want her because that's his wife and that's the mother of his child. He want the institution. I don't want her. Like, we could stay married, but Jax probably want to do what Jax want to do out in them streets. And if you want to stay home and do that, and it don't affect what we do, Jax would be okay with that. But Brittany want more. But if I was Jax ain't sleeping with Brittany because Jax don't want a baby. And I don't blame Jax for that. And Jax is saying, no, we're not ready for another child. I'm not. And you drink too much. No.
Yeah. They have a lot of problems too, because like we've been talking about, it could just be another ego thing for him because he probably feels, man, if I have another son with you or another child with you,
he already feeling trapped.
Yes, would that child also have some form of disability?
Yeah, I agree. I agree. That's a big part of it because if that happened, that would have to be on your mind and having another child. It would have to be. How can it not be?
Yeah.
You did it once and I'd be scared too. I really would be scared. And it's no guarantees. And whatever happened to your son can happen again. And I think Jax is like, now if it happened with another woman, Jax would have to accept the fact he's the problem.
Yeah, it's something about his.
He doesn't know why it's this away. But I think Jax is afraid. And I do get that from Jax. I do. I understand because I would be afraid too. Afraid and they not ready.
No.
And I wouldn't want Brittany to get pregnant because Brittany just want to be a part of, I want another baby. Oh, she just get on my nerves. I'm sorry, y'all. I like Brittany, but she's a whiny wife, in my opinion.
She is.
You know, she's too whiny for me. My opinion.
Yeah, but that was pretty much it for this episode. Next episode seems like it's going to be a little bit juicy because it seems like Jax and Brittany are talking to their respective people that they talk to about how, yeah, we're thinking about divorce, or Jax feels like Brittany. I think, yeah, Jax is pretty confident in the fact that Brittany is not going to leave me, and Brittany was just like, I'll get a divorce. I'll divorce him.
She's like, I'll leave him.
Mm-hmm.
I know you'll leave him. And you think he don't know that? You don't care. If somebody don't want you, they don't want you.
Yeah.
And I think he just don't. He said he's tired of dealing with her drinking.
Yeah.
That's his biggest issue.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't ever say anything about her mothering or anything.
No.
He doesn't say anything about her being a bad woman. He's just saying your drinking is obnoxious.
Yes.
It's atrocious. It's atrocious, and I'm sick of it.
Yes.
That's what I hear. Mm-hmm. What do you hear?
Yes, and I could definitely believe that.
And
Dealing
I
with that
can
for
too.
about a decade, I'd be tired of that too.
Absolutely. You know,
Yeah.
I never know which day of the week. It's probably every week you're going through this. Every week you drink, you can't work the next day. I get it.
Yeah.
I get it. So
That's
it.
Yep, that was pretty much it for the Valley.
Well,
this episode.
that's it.
Yeah.
I hope you enjoyed our recap. And with that being said, you ready?
Yes.
Sunflowers.